instability to confidence. That's been the journey for a Shaler, Iowa high school student. That's after her battle with a brain tumor.
KTIV's Taylor Decker tells us about a medical device that's helping her get back on her feet.
Go, Alex, go.
17-year-old Alexandria Crone was diagnosed with a brain tumor at just 12 years old and underwent a year and a half of chemo and radiation.
It's just a type of chemotherapy that you get, and it's known for like killing the nerves in your feet.
Her treatments resulted in severe mobility issues, neuropathy, unsteady on her feet.
It was kind of like difficult at first because it was a lot of using my walker, and it was a lot of, well, my feet, like my toes catch underneath me sometimes, so then I felt like I was gonna fall.
Her life changed in August when she learned about a new device, Bioness L300 Go, which uses electricity to retrain her nerves.
Typically, when we want to do something, we send a message from the brain down our spinal cord into our legs to the feet to like lift up our toes. And with this chemo-induced peripheral neuropathy that Alex has, the nerves down farther in her legs are not communicating as well.
Placed right on the leg, it sends electrical therapies to the nerves in her legs to get them to turn on and lift up her feet as she walks. She does what she calls her leg exercises.
I'm used to it now, so even when I'm walking, I can just go on my phone and I can turn up the intensity if I need to.
Best result now, though, is she is getting better.
2 weeks after I started wearing them full time, and it was like, oh, I feel like it's not, like, it doesn't hurt anymore, and I feel like I have my balance back, and I can start using, like, I don't have to start using my walker anymore.
In Storm Lake, Iowa, Taylor Deckert, KTIV News 4.
Crone will attend Buena Vista University in the fall. She'll study pre-med, and she says she was inspired by her oncologists and hopes to one day treat childhood cancer herself.